Welcome to the Songwriter Connection podcast. Our show originates in Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA. We connect you to the songwriters and the stories behind your favorite songs. Join us as we take a look at the craft of songwriting through the eyes of the songwriter. Now, here's your host, Dave Linehan.
Thanks, Katie. Yeah, I'm Dave, and welcome to the podcast, Songwriter Connection. This is episode 13 now of season 1. 13 behind us. That's lucky 13. And I want to talk a little bit about, well, we talk a lot about songwriting, but I want to focus in on singer-songwriter and the artist today. And one of the things about the internet today, it really has helped the internet artist because there are a lot of ways to get that music out there. You know, there's different platforms. You can get played all over the world. And it's a big advantage if you can perform and sing the songs that you're writing. And that's kind of the case with our guest today. And there are a lot of great organizations that help to promote independent artists today. And some of these independent artists are absolutely tearing it up. I'm so proud of our guest today. Had a chance to write with her a few times, and we get together about every other week. She is a Little Rock, Arkansas native and lives in the suburbs of Little Rock. Her name is Pamela Hopkins. Pamela, thanks for joining us today. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
We're doing the Zoom thing because obviously you're just outside of Little Rock and I'm here in Music City, USA. But you make a lot of trips here, don't you?
I do, a few times a year. Yeah, I come up there and record a lot. So I say a lot, a few times a year.
I was reading over your bio and it said that you made your first trip and made an album here in Nashville back in 95. And then, life happens,
Yes, absolutely.
And you put it away for a while, but then you got back into it here in 2020. Tell us about that journey.
Well, so back in 95, I was, just a young gal. And, back then the internet wasn't really big. And obviously, I didn't even know the internet existed at that point. I was like, what is that? I think that was, about the time that people were starting to discover it.
Right.
But you couldn't there wasn't a lot out there. So I want to say that, either my parents, that's when newspapers were real big, probably saw an ad, come to Nashville and audition for whatever, some free recording time. And if we pick you, you'll be, pitched to the big, the big labels, blah, 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 blah. Right. So you go and you audition. So we made the trip. We went and my brother and I auditioned and they picked me up, basically, oh, we want to work with her. Mm-hmm. Sweet. Okay. Well, I'm young. I'm in college and my parents were trying to push me that way. And I was like, they talked us into, well, she's got to get an album. We're going to record 10 original songs and then we're going to take it and we're going to pitch it to these labels. Mm-hmm. And so we recorded it down there off the road, or on Music Row.
Right on Music Row. What an experience though. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's when it was reels.
Back when we had music on reel. Yeah.
Right. The reels. Yeah.
Right.
But so I knew nothing really about it, but I went in there and, I learned my songs. They gave me probably 40 songs to pick from. I had to pick 10, maybe 50. I picked 10 that I liked and was not really writing. I didn't know anything. The only thing I'd ever done was karaoke, And so I was like, well, this is exciting. I'm going to have 10 original songs and this is so cool.
That is.
Yeah. And then I went and recorded them and the recording quality wasn't that great. And they never pitched me. So
no, that's terrible.
We just gave them a bunch of money and I had 1,000 cassette tapes out of the deal.
Oh.
And put them in places like, Hastings would take your original, they'd take independent artists. And so sold a few, but I have the rest of them here. So you cannot find these. If you are a lucky owner of one, you have to get it from me. And if you join my fan club, I'm glad to send one to you. If you can find a
if you have a cassette.
You join my fan club and you pay the $30 to get, it's a t-shirt, my current EP, and then I send you that as a bonus.
That's one of the things eventually on this podcast I want to talk to you about, the great way that you market yourself as an independent artist. Let me tell you a little bit about Pamela Hopkins. She is a multi-instrumentalist. Your first instrument was a cello, is that right?
Absolutely. Yes. I learned cello, started that in 5th grade and then moved to piano, a little bit of piano, not a whole lot. I had to take theory in school. I went to a magnet school for music. Uh-huh. So moved in, kind of, did a little piano and learned some theory behind, the instruments because I was playing cello too. So that was kind of required. And then moved into choir in high school. and went from there. Went to college on scholarship for
music.
For music, for cello, for orchestra and choir.
That's great.
And then the Nashville trip happened, and I decided that wasn't for me.
You had some detours along the way, and we're going to talk about it.
Right.
But I want to focus in on a song that really is this is autobiographical, right? Our first song, Little Rock Famous.
Yes.
Tell the story. You always kind of know the story behind the song. And this was a cool song and video. The video's out there on YouTube and anywhere you get video. So tell us how this song came about.
Well, so the last 7.5, 8 years, I've been performing in Little Rock as a dueling piano player. So the multi-instrumentation, I've come back to that. So now I play piano every weekend. It's my job. And so we take requests and we do all that. Well, about 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, I was like, what do I sound like? For 4 years, I've been doing everybody else's music. What do I sound like? And I had like a following that would come in to the place I worked, which now is Willie D's. I started off at Ernie Biggs. Now I'm at Willie D's. And they would come in and they're like, we're here to see you. We love the way you sing. And I was like, yeah, but I'm performing everybody else's stuff. So great that I'm known. Wonderful. But what am I doing? Yeah. And so I started my own, got back into my own music and what do I sound like now? And started developing that. Well, one of my ideas was, I hashtagged for probably 2 years before I ever wrote the song, I'm Little Rock Famous, I may not be known anywhere else, but in the small town of Little Rock, people know me enough to where, here's a funny story about that. So, and I'll make this real quick, but my family and I went to a haunted house a few years ago. I love Halloween. It's like my favorite holiday, if we consider it a holiday, but one of my favorite times of year is Halloween. And we went to a haunted house and it's pitch dark out there, pitch black. And this is what kind of solidified the Little Rock Famous and kind of got me where I need to write that. We were standing there and I had been working 4 nights a week. So by Sunday I have a raspy voice, it's torn up from the week.
That does wear on your voice. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And then I was performing 4 and 5 days a week at that time.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Instead of 2 or 3. Yeah. At 3 hours a night. So that's a lot of hours on a voice. Well, I'm standing there talking to my kids and we're just chit chatting or whatever. And the girl behind me, now you can't see anybody. Like you can't see 4 feet in front of you. You just know there's people there. You can't tell who they are.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing dark clothes. I've got a hoodie on because I have no makeup on. I don't want anybody seeing me. I don't want to be recognized at this point. And she taps on my shoulder and she's like, do you work at Willie D's? And I was like, I do. And I said, how do you know that? And she said, it's your voice.
Wow.
She said, I knew I had heard it. And I had said something about singing to my kids, like in conversation. I guess she heard me say that. She goes, I know your voice anywhere. And she said, I kept thinking, that's her. That's her. I know that. Your name's Pamela. And I was like, yes. And then, so I was kind of like, I literally am Little Rock Famous.
You are Little Rock Famous, girl.
So I started thinking about how to write that. And I got with my current producer and his wife, and we decided to write it. So that was on the first 4 songs that I cut last May. Wonderful. That were released all last year. And it was, I wanted it to be kind of like my signature song that, it doesn't matter. I love what I do. I love performing. I love writing. I love putting out music. I love the emotion of it. I love getting out there and just doing my thing and watching people smile, or if I do something that's touching, having their heart touched, whatever. It's my thing. We've never talked been happier in my life
on past podcasts. That's the real way you get paid, is when you touch people and they tell you about it. And that is the biggest thrill, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. And so when we were writing it, I was like, well, here's some lines I have. And I know I want it to be like a country rock song. Yeah. And I want it to jam. And so we got started writing and I was like, well, here's the story. And so it literally talks about everything in it is true. It is an autobiographical song. And if I never go any further than where I am, I will die a happy person.
Wow.
Because I just love it. I love performing. I love getting on stage. I love doing my thing. And I feel like I'm a different person when I'm on stage. And people sit and tell me, they're like, you're so confident. I'm like, well, I'm really not. Like, we would never know that. And I'm like, everything melts. So I could look like total poo, but I'm on stage and I forget.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
I'm not exactly a skinny chick. And so I even forget like my fat rolls are hanging over. I just do it. I make these funny faces and, so it's just one of those, it's me. So, that's me.
Well, we've heard a lot about what is the makeup of Pamela Hopkins, which she's all about. And for the rest of the story, let's listen to this great song right here. Little Rock Famous on the Songwriter Connection podcast. Our guest is Pamela Hopkins.
All right, now, y'all gonna listen up. Let me tell you about my story. I sing my songs like I stole them. From town to town, I just keep on rolling. Chasing this crazy dream to who knows where. I spent many years raising my kids, and now I play my music for tips. I don't have fame or fortune, but I don't care. I sing my heart out while I bang on these keys, and in every bar I leave a piece of me. I'm just a stone's throw away from Music City and the opera stage. But you know, every time that I play, I'm gonna rock the house, kick ass and take me. I don't care if I make it. I guess you can say that I'm shameless, 'cause I'm a little rock, little rock, little rock famous. Singing's how I spend my time, 'cause my music is a friend of mine. I'll play anywhere and make fans along the way. Famous really means to me, it's making people smile when I sing. I'm just a stone's throw away from Music City and the opera stage. But you know, every time that I play, I'm gonna rock the house, kick ass and take me. I don't care if I make it. I guess you could say that I'm shameless, 'cause I'm a little rock, little rock, little rock famous. I'm just a stone's throw away. I can hear Nashville calling my name, and you know, every time that I play, I'm gonna rock the house while they're screaming my name. Just a stone's throw away from Music City and the opera stage. But you know, every time that I play, I'm gonna rock the house, kick ass and take me. I don't care if I make it. Well, I guess you can say that I'm shameless, 'cause I'm a little rock, little rock, little rock famous. Woo! I may not be known anywhere else in the small town of Little Rock.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, this girl could sing. Pamela Hopkins is our guest on the Songwriter Connection podcast. That's all you need to know about her. She's Little Rock famous. But actually, I think you're a little bit more famous than that. You're getting out there, girl.
I'm trying. I'm
You
trying.
are. You're doing a great job with that, too.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah. You know,
A lot of effort, that's for sure.
and I know you as a great performer, and I'll tell you, you want to really sharpen your chops, and you play piano. Try getting a job at a dueling piano bar, right? I mean, think
Right.
about that for a second. You're up there, just you and another person, right? And you're
Yep.
getting all these requests, and you're entertaining that audience, and you're going one cover after another. You got to learn. You've got to know a lot of songs. It's like you said, it pushes that voice to the limit. Tell us about how you got that job. That is not anybody can get a job doing that.
No, so like I said, about probably 8.5 years ago now, I was teaching. I was a teacher, and my parents got sick, and it was one of those things that was kind of like, I started having music. It started to, try to fill my life again. Basically, I was like, I really want to do this again. It's something that I did way back when. I really enjoyed it. And my husband and I went to a dueling piano bar, and I was like, I haven't played piano in like 20 years. Like, I don't even know if I could still play.
Really? It's been that long?
Here.
Wow.
Right. Like, and I wasn't great at playing before. Like, I wasn't good. I was a beginner who could read a little bit of music, but I was like, never really picked it up. Well, I started watching their hands, and I got up and I said, hey, this guy's name is Dave Rosico. And I didn't know him. And I just went up there and I said, hey, I sing. Can I get up and sing a song with you guys? Because I had done it before, in the past, gotten up and sang with the dueling piano bar. You usually have to pay a fee. It's called a stage fee. And they'll get up and they'll play a song, and you are featured basically up there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I can sing. Of course, I get done singing. I sang Me and Bobby McGee. And he was like, man, you're really good. You're a good singer. And I was like, well, thank you. And I was like, hey, I play piano. I kind of fibbed a little.
No, you play piano.
No, but I didn't at the time. I didn't. And because I hadn't played in 20 years. And I was, he goes, you do? And I was like, yeah, I'm really interested. Like, how do I get into this? And of course, now that I'm in the job, we get that a lot. Mm-hmm. Hey, I do this. And I'm like, well, learn 30 songs. I just do the same thing he told me. Learn 30 songs, come back and see me.
30 songs. Yeah.
30 songs. And I did. I sat at home and I looked up every 2 or 3 chord song that would be a popular top 40 song. So things like, Jolene,
of course.
Up? Yeah. What's up? Me and Bobby McGee, Redneck Woman. So I'm finding all the female songs I could find that are 2 and 3 chords that are well known that would actually be played at a piano bar. Mm-hmm. And I sat and I relearned how to play the piano, and I learned a different way to play piano, because the way I had learned was reading music, and that's not what we do.
Yeah.
We don't read the music. We read chords and we listen, use our ear a lot. So I now am very proficient at it because I've done it for years now. But at first it was hard. And I can tell you, I did not have a keyboard where I could plug in headphones.
Oh boy.
I had an upright grand, which is sitting across from me right now. That's from like 1918. So my family got to hear all these songs
over and over
and over and over, and then trying to relearn piano and sing it at the same time. So it was slow going, but it took me probably about 5 months. And I went back and I talked to him again and said, okay, what do I do now? And he was like, well, let me hear what you got. And he met me up there, and I said, I've got these songs and I can read these songs now. I know how to read them. I didn't have them all by memory, but enough that I could perform them, sing them, play them, and read the chords and get through it. And he said, well, you can come up here on Thursdays, and I'll let you get up on stage. And as you add songs, get you some stage time. Of course, that's free. You don't get paid. You don't get tips. You get nothing.
Nothing.
You're doing it out of the love of your heart.
And exposure, right?
Well, or just, because Thursdays are slow. So there might be a few people that would let, they understand, because it's like, maybe 10 people in the club, and they can kind of explain it. Like, hey, she's learning, or teaching her, she's going to get up here and play for, 20 minutes if you guys will. And, she sings great. So
had to be nerve wracking.
Oh yeah. But you just do it. And then you start adding more and more and more as you get more time. And then the place I started at, which was called King's here in Conway, down the street from me. Conway's about a 15-minute drive from my house. Mm-hmm. And I would go in every Thursday. Well, they stopped doing dueling pianos. And I looked at Dave and I said, well, what am I doing now? Like, where do I go? What do I do? This is what I want to do. And I was like, I kind of had like a shock moment. I was like, so he said, and I was still teaching at the time. And he said, you can go down to Little Rock and Ernie Biggs will train you. So I walked in there and he said, talk to this person. And I went in and did the same thing. I sat in and said, I'm really interested in this. This is what I want to do. And he said, okay, we'll be here every Thursday. He said, here's my number. I'll teach you some of this stuff. And then I got with one of the guys I play with now, which is Mateo. And he said, let me help you with some grooves. He worked at Willie D's, which is where I work now. And I kind of started meeting all the people that were in the job. And he said, well, come over. I'm going to show you some grooves you need, because you can't do one groove the whole time.
No.
You can't do it. Like, you'll bore everybody.
Yeah.
So let me show you these other grooves. You need to work on these, And so I did. And eventually this new school year had started, and went down there on like one of the Thursday nights. And Frisbee, the guy that I was under, was like, hey, I need somebody to play. This is on a Tuesday. He said, I need somebody to play Thursday. You want your first paid shift?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me think about it.
I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I was like, I just said yes as confidently as I could. Yep. He goes, you think you're ready? I went, absolutely. And of course I left out of there looking at my husband, because we just happened to be downtown eating, because he had a function, like something. We were down there for that. And I just looked at him. I said, I'm getting my first paid shift on Thursday. And he said, huh? I'm going to start getting paid.
Yes.
And it's just gone from there, and you just learn more. And now, it's, a lot of people know who I am in that world, which is good because I've traveled all over playing. I've traveled to Seattle. I've played on cruises.
On the cruise lines, right? Was it Holland Cruise Lines you played on? That had to be fun.
Norwegian.
Norwegian.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. They have Howl at the Moon. So once a year before it stopped last year, I spent a month on a cruise line playing. Yeah. So
that's cool. Is that something you want to do again?
Oh yes,
I bet.
I love playing on cruises. And then I did the it's not USO, but it's similar. It's called I work for Pro Tour Entertainment or Pro Tour Productions, and we go over and entertain the troops during Christmas.
That's cool.
And
wow,
that's great. We were going to be able to do it again this year, but because of COVID, they still weren't letting us on base.
Yeah.
So it was canceled for this year. So hopefully this next year I'll be back. And last year I was in Europe. I was all over Italy and Portugal and Greece.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so
wonderful way to see the world with your music, huh? Yeah, which was kind of a goal for you too, right? Yeah,
absolutely. I love traveling.
Yeah. Hey, what you do. It's a special kind of person that can entertain in the dueling piano bars like that. You guys just command the audience. You get everybody going, and you keep them going. And the thing that surprises me is they'll drop you any kind of crazy request, and you guys, how do you know it? How do you do that? I want to know how you do that.
And I used to be amazed by it too. It's like a magician, How do you know all these songs?
They know everything.
They know all my music. Yeah. Well, most of us love music. And so I'm not as adept at the newer stuff that's out because we still get a lot of classic rock and older R&B. And so, but the same requests come up. Yeah. I mean, and so usually even if it's something that, so for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. Journey is a really big band. We get a lot of Journey because they have a lot of sing-along songs. Yeah. Right. So I know I can cover probably 6 of their songs because, there's 6 that come up. Now, obviously, every now and then somebody will throw in Wheel in the Sky, or something that doesn't come up very often. Well, all of us know Journey well enough. Somebody can read it. Generally, we can read it. Or say Def Leppard, Pour Some Sugar on Me. Well, Photograph is not as popular that comes up, but every now and then it does. But I'm familiar enough with it, I can, quote, cover it. So I can just pull it up. Yeah. So you end up knowing what's most requested. And that's the things we learn and we memorize because that's what's going to make us our money. It's our money songs. And then you kind of know the other popular ones because we listen to the radio and can cover it. Or you'll see if you ever see us on stage and somebody brings up a request and say they put a $20 bill with it, I'm going to take a listen to it. Yeah, sure. So you might see me put my phone up to my ear while I'm on stage and I'm listening to see if I know the song. Can I pull it off? Yeah. I've got the chords pulled up. I'm looking at the words. Can I get the phrasing? And so we start learning just out of repetition in what we do, how to do a version of a song that is passable.
There's a real art to it.
Practice.
They're really in practice. Absolutely. Yeah. If you want to watch, you guys stream it, don't you, on the weekends? I've seen some streams of you doing it. Sometimes? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sometimes. Look for your Facebook Live?
COVID, during COVID, we were streaming a lot because people couldn't make it out. But now that people are coming out, our club's completely open now. So dance clubs open, everything's open.
Things are opening up. That's good.
We're not streaming it as much, but you can find them. If you go to my page, you can find the streams. They're on there, so you can watch them.
So let's flash forward in 2020. You come to Nashville, recording in Franklin. Now you got to pick songs and start writing songs for your solo career. And you get this song that, and I remember watching this video saying, this is so fun, called Cranking Up the Crazy. And you got a great story behind this song. I want to play it next, but tell us the story behind that one.
Okay. So quickly, last January, now I had been kind of familiar with Jim Femino, who is the main writer of that song. It's him and Janae Fleenor. Janae Fleenor is from Arkansas, I think from Springdale, Arkansas. She's a fiddle player.
And a CMA award-winning fiddle player, instrumentalist of the year last year. She's amazing. Yeah.
Right. She plays for Blake Shelton and she plays for The Voice.
Wow.
So she's She's great. She's a co-writer on the song with Jim Femino. But last January, I made a trip to Nashville with my mom, and I was going to meet with a few writers because at that point I wasn't good at writing. I had ideas, but I needed co-writers. I'm just not good at writing by myself, which I'm good with people.
Oh, you're good at writing too.
I'm a good collaborator with other minds. And I had nothing, but I was like, I've got to find some more songs. I want to get back in the studio. I can't just keep these same EP songs and travel on that forever. So I've got to keep going.
Right.
And reached out to Jim Femino through a buddy of mine who wrote Friends Like You, which is one of my other songs, named Jim Pollock. He's friends with Jim. He's like, yeah, he goes, man, this is a good dude to know. So I just sent him a message. I was like, hey, I'm just curious. I'm coming to Nashville. I'd love to meet with you and hear what you have in your catalog. Now, Jim Femino, for those of you that don't know who he is, he wrote Just Got Started Loving You
Great
by
song.
James Otto, which was
Number
one in 2008.
Yeah.
Right. But he's got some other hit songs that were, top Billboard songs. And he wrote
does.
for, I think, Toby Keith for like 10 years. And he's known well there in
If you don't know him, Google him. Yeah,
Right.
you'll be
They call
surprised.
him Uncle Sexy.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, sure, I'll meet with you. I'd love for you to hear my catalog and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I'm honored you picked me. I'm like, really? I'm honored you even like, what? Talk to me. Like, do you know who you are? Like, I know who you are. Do you know who you are? I'm nobody. And so I get to Nashville. I meet with a couple other co-writers that I had done some songs of theirs before, which is Lala Deaton. And she's one of them that I met with and listened to some stuff she had available and chose a couple of songs, and some of her co-writers weren't wanting to release the songs I chose yet. So I had to kind of like, well, I guess I'm not doing those.
Okay.
I met with Jim, and I'll back that up a little bit. He had a heart attack that day, or the night before.
No.
It was like heart attack number 5.
Oh.
And yeah. So he's got some heart issues. And he texted me and he said, hey, I might not be able to meet with you tomorrow. We were supposed to have lunch together. And I said, is everything okay? And he was like, well, I think I just had another heart attack and I got to call my doctor in the morning. I'm like, call your doctor in the morning? What?
No.
Hospital. And
Yeah.
he was like, no, I'm good. He said, but they may put me in the hospital. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, if that happens and you need somebody to visit you, I'm here. I'm more than happy to come and, visit with you. You don't have to pitch me anything, but just to meet you. If you're comfortable with that. If you're not, that's cool. I get it. And I'll come back. It's a 5.5 hour drive for me. I'll come back another time. And I'm thinking, please don't die on me. Like, please don't die. And he didn't. Luckily, he didn't. Well, he texted me back. He goes, well, let me find out what the doctors are going to say, what they're going to do. So he texted me back a little bit and he goes, well, they're going to admit me, but I think I'll be able to meet with you about 6:30 or 7, whatever time it was at night. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, come to this hospital, this room. Because his wife was up with his kids, and I think she has some medical issues too. So his daughter was taking care of her, and he's kind of by himself. And I was like, well, all right, I'll come. And we sat there, and he had his computer out, and he pulls his computer up, and he goes, well, here's some songs I'd like to pitch to you. And he pitched them to me in the hospital.
Oh,
so
my.
if you go to his Twitter page, there's a picture of me and him
Well, he's in hospital.
while he's in the hospital. He's in a gown, and he's like, what some artists will do to get a good song.
That is the wildest pitch story I have ever heard. That's just crazy. So
we loved the pit. We loved the song.
You loved the song?
I picked 3 songs. Crank It Up to Crazy. Somebody Here's Walking, which was released in December.
Oh yeah, great
And
song.
I chose Me Being Me.
Me Being Me.
Which is I recorded this last time. So if I release that one, it'll be released later this year.
That's cool.
So-
Well, let's play Cranking Up the Crazy, and then I want to ask you about the video next. Because, again, these videos are out there. Look for Pamela Hopkins on YouTube. They're out there. They're great, and they're so much fun. Just Cranking Up the Crazy. Pamela Hopkins.
A bone, a bone, chicka bone, bone. A bone, chicka bone, bone, chicka bone, bone. A bone, chicka bone, bone. Shades on, boots off. Kicking back on my front porch. Summer heat, a cold drink. You know everybody needs a little breaky break. Yeah. Living large in slow motion. I got a yard, hell, who needs a notion? And he's sitting there in his sexy tan lines in a long chair next to mine, cranking up crazy. Just me and my baby. Getting a little sideways. Just cranking up crazy. Radio, playing low. Now hold up, it's getting out of control. We might just sit back and take a nap. Like my blue tick radio, he rolls like that. Yeah, he might boot scoot later tonight. Throw it back neath the neon lights until that sun sets in the sky. We'll be rocking out and wasting time, cranking up the crazy. me my baby, my baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get a little sideways, sideways. Just cranking up crazy, I crank it up now. Bone chicka bone bone, chicka bone bone, a bone chicka bone bone, a bone chicka bone bone, chicka bone bone, a bone chicka bone bone. Everybody now, bone chicka bone bone, chicka bone bone, a bone chicka bone bone. On the left now, bone chicka bone bone, chicka bone bone, bone chicka bone bone. Cranking up crazy, up crazy. Just me and my baby, my baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get a little sideways, sideways. Just cranking up crazy, up crazy. Bone chicka bone bone, chicka bone bone, a bone chicka bone bone. Bone chicka bone bone, chicka bone bone, a bone chicka bone bone. Y'all come on now. Bone chicka bone bone, chicka bone bone, a bone chicka bone bone. Everybody sing bone chicka bone, chicka bone bone, bone chicka bone bone. Breaking up crazy.
Yes, we are. Are you saying chicken bones? Chicken bones?
Bone chicka, bone bone. Well, unless you watch the video, then you might think it's chicken bone.
Yeah. Hey, where can they see that video? Give us your webpage and everything.
So you have to, for that particular video, you'll have to just search Pamela Hopkins Vivo.
It's
so
out there.
VEVO, all one word. Yeah.
Mhm.
I've got two different YouTube channels. One is an artist channel and one is for my official videos, which is the Vivo channel. And
I got you.
it's like got a bunch of numbers at the end of it. So I would say just put
Google that, you'll
Pamela
find it.
Hopkins Vivo and it'll pop up all my official music videos.
And you want to see it. It's such a fun video. It is such a fun song. And with the weather getting nice now, that's one of those songs right there. Interesting story there too, huh? Almost got a little injured filming that, huh?
Oh no, I got injured.
You did get injured. Wasn't almost about it.
I had a bruise the size of Montana on my left leg, and bruises behind my knees and on my knees and on my face. Yeah, no, there's a part in the video, and if you'll have to rewind it and look at it over and over again. But it's the part where it says Pam Cam, and part of it says, "Now hold up, it's getting out of control." And you'll see the Pam Cam, and I fly off of the slide onto the ground.
It's one of those blow up slide things. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the first time I went down, I was in dry clothes.
Oh no.
And so I didn't get the quote air they wanted me to get. Going down it again. Well, we were, I was in shorts because it was July, and I had lotion on my legs because I'm as bad as white as they come. And I had like a bronzer on my leg because I didn't want to like blind everybody in the video. So I had lotion on my legs to make sure that my legs looked nice, in the video. And wet lotion acts for a very slippery slope.
And you certainly got air that time, didn't you?
Right. So apparently, because I was doing other things in the video, I didn't notice that because people were sliding down it, because we had kids out there during the video shoot, but we weren't over in that area a lot. So the kids were having a good time on the water slide while we were doing other stuff. I wasn't watching some of the people actually go over the end of the slide. So I had no clue. That was going on. And so apparently, my husband was like, well, I was ready to catch you, but you didn't, the first time, but you didn't have any air. So I didn't worry about it. So the second time I went down, he was talking to somebody.
Oh no.
So he didn't catch me.
He didn't catch you.
I went off the side of the slide. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the very end of the video, there's a picture of me upside down. It's like that rolls the credits. That's me up in the air.
Check it out. It's so much fun. And no one was actually killed in the filming of that. So
no. I did hurt though, but I had drank enough. They were feeding me like the sparkling.
There you go. Seltzers.
I don't even know what you call it because I'm a shot kind of gal if I'm gonna drink. But they were cold and it was 110 degrees outside. And I was just, they're called Trulies, but what do you call those?
White Claws?
Like
hard seltzers?
Hard seltzers. Yeah.
Okay.
Not my thing, but those are pretty tasty when you're hot.
Yeah. They quench. You do such a great job of marketing yourself, Pamela. You really do. Not just the videos and getting the videos out there, but your merchandising and everything. And that's the total package today when you're an independent artist. And that's really, really cool. Like, I know your new record coming out. You've got T-shirts designed and hats and things. And all of that's available on your website too, right?
It is. It is available on my website. You can get a custom-made hat for my new song. Am I allowed to mention it yet? The new song that we co-wrote?
Yeah, we're going to play it a little bit.
So Giving a Damn Don't Go My Outfit. That's the newest merch I have. So there's custom hats. There's some with cheetah leopard print on them, gray. I've got some tumblers, some T-shirts, hoodies.
That's
and
cool.
And it's
merch is a big part of it, you know? Yeah, it really is.
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I bet. And you just got a new sponsor, Gone Country, did I see today?
Gone Country Hats is one of my sponsors. So if you're a cowboy, cowgirl, hat kind of wearing person, check out their stuff at www.gonecountryhats.com. And so I put out my sponsor video a little bit ago, and
that's cool. And I watched that this morning.
Hat. It's a nice hat. Yeah.
We're talking here in April, and the show I know doesn't stream until May, but that is really, really cool. You know what? And that's the other thing. You're on all the socials, so just search for Pamela Hopkins and you will find her. Become a Facebook friend. I want to congratulate you. The International Singer-Songwriters Association International, they're just announcing their nominations for the ISSA Awards, and you are nominated for 7 of them. That's incredible. 7, including Entertainer of the Year, Female Songwriter of the Year. So you got to feel good about that.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I got that, and I was like, woohoo!
Yeah, fantastic. And you're also nominated for an award in the Arkansas Associate. What's that one?
It's Arkansas Country Music Awards. I find out June 7th if I get Female Vocalist of the Year. It's my first year to be officially nominated, and they did a big award show, kind of like the CMAs.
That's great.
They did a big award show here, and yes, my first year ever being nominated. So just to get the 1 out of 5, you know, with ISSA, there's a lot of people nominated, and I guess they whittle it down.
Right.
This one, everybody puts in for nominations, and the official list, there's like 5 in each category. So out of everybody's nominations, they whittle it down to just 5.
That's great.
And I got an official nomination for Female Vocalist of the Year. So I'm super proud about that.
Well,
even if I don't win, I'm like, woo!
Yeah, what an honor to be nominated. Yeah.
Right.
Now, you have a song out, and again, this is airing in May, so it's a couple of months old by now. But this is a song that is really getting chart success. It's getting played on playlists all over the world, and it's a special song. Video is out there too. It's called "Little Things" that you co-wrote, and this is an amazing story. I want to play this song, but again, it's Songwriter Connection podcast. We're about the stories behind the songs. Tell me that story, will you? Tell me a story, Pamela.
Yes. Okay. So about probably a year to a year and a half ago, well, maybe about a year ago, I've always wanted to do a duet. I'm like, I really want to do a duet. And I keep notes, as you know, because I write with you, keep notes in my phone.
Yeah,
I do.
Love that.
And
I do too.
All that stuff. Yeah. And I had this idea, and I went to a couple of my buddies here that write and that are musicians. And I said, hey, I really want to do this duet. I'd love to write with you. And they're like, oh, yeah. We'd love to write. Well, nobody would ever get with me. And I was like, well, okay. I'll find somebody else. Well, so fast forward, I work at Willie D's, and I have people that come in that know me and know I sing. And I get a lot of people who go, oh, do you know so-and-so? Do you know so-and-so? Well, a lot of people I don't know. I just don't know them. And I'm also a former police officer. And a couple of my friends were like, well, do you know this guy named Matt Dame? He used to be a cop too. And I'm like, no, I don't know all cops. Like, I was in it for 13 years in my past, but I don't know them all.
Right.
They're like, well, he moved to Nashville about 15 years ago. He's a singer-songwriter, and he's amazing. You two would sound great together.
Wow.
And I'd heard it a couple of times. Like, first time I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, And then I heard it again from another buddy of mine that used to be my captain. And he was like, yeah, man, he's a good dude too. Like, you need to.
He is.
You need to, I
just need to break in and just tell you a little bit more about Matt Dame. He is really known in this town as one of the best demo singers in Nashville. And he really is an incredible voice. He's probably done 5-6 demos for me, and I absolutely love his voice. And you two together. So anyway, you finally hooked up, right? Yeah.
I did. I finally looked him up because I was like, okay, tell me once. All right. Yeah. Tell me twice, 2 different people.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I need to look into this.
Right.
And I kind of had this idea, and it started to form. My idea started to form. I'm like, I watch people all the time. What are these little things that make people stay together?
Yeah.
After all these years, I get on your nerves. You wake up next to him every day, and I'm still here. Why?
Yeah.
And so I had my list of things that keep me with my husband. We've been together for 26 years almost.
That's great.
And I was like, but I can't speak for a guy. So I need to find this person. And so I went and listened to some of his stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh.
He's amazing.
That's my duet partner. And he's got a song that I absolutely love. If you guys want to check it out, called Whiskey and Memories, that him and my other co-writer wrote together, Trapped in Harvey. That it just is such a touching. So I listen to that song, I can't tell you how many times on repeat. I know they probably got 1,000 listens on that just because I just left it on repeat. I know all the words. Just a beautiful song. And I hit him up on Facebook and I said, hey, I got a couple friends that told me about you. And he goes, it's funny because I think one of them ended up being his cousin, who's also a cop, that had told me. He said, yeah. He's like, he told me I needed to reach out to you, but I didn't know who you were. He's like, so thanks for reaching out. And I said, here's my idea.
It was meant to be. Yeah.
Here's my idea. Would you like to co-write and sing the song with me? I love your voice. And he was like, yeah, sure. That'd be cool. Let's set it. I don't have any time. This went on from June until we actually wrote the song in September. Wow. And we finally got a time, and he said, do you mind? Cause he was moving and doing some other stuff. And he's like, I'll have time this day. And he said, do you mind if I bring in another co-writer named Trapped in Harvey? And I said, no, absolutely. Like, to me, 3 is a good number, which, you know, 2, 3, you got 3 minds. It's a good number. He said, he's a great lyricist. So send me your stuff. I sent it to him, and we did a Zoom call. And we were on the call maybe 2.5 hours total. First time I had ever talked to him, I'd say face to face, but it wasn't face to face. It was through Zoom. But had ever actually spoken to him. And then so we wrote the song. I think it took us maybe an hour and a half, a little over, to write the song. He did the work tape. He sent it over to me. I went to Nashville in October. Since he's already there, I went to Franklin, he was like, well, I'll just meet you over at the studio. First time I'd ever laid eyes on him in person. We did this photo shoot where we were looking a little bit more intimate, but we'd just met each other, and sang it through plexiglass. Basically, he was on one side of the plexiglass, I was on the other side, and we knocked it out in about 30 minutes.
Wow.
And that's the product you hear. Wow.
Well, let's play it. It's a great song. Like I said, it's getting a lot of attention out there. And here is Little Things, Matt Dame, and our guest, Pamela Hopkins. Songwriter Connection Podcast.
You know when to get close and when to stay away.
You know how to bring the sun to my darkest days.
You know just what turns me off and just what turns me on.
Like the way you call me baby and call me all night long.
It's those little things that make my heart melt. Everything that you won't find in a fairy tale. What wakes me up and puts me to bed. Looking back, I know I'm blessed. It ain't white picket fences, fancy cars and diamond rings.
It's those little things.
You know how to cook like my granny did. How to leave a trace of lipstick on my lips.
You know just what turns me on, just what turns me on. Like the way you dance with me and lead me down the hall.
It's those little things that make my heart melt. Everything that you won't find in a fairy tale. Up and puts me to bed. Looking back, I know I'm blessed. It ain't white picket fences, fancy cars and diamond rings.
It's those little things. The dimples in your cheek,
the softness of your skin. Still feel like those crazy kids.
like where it all began. It's those little things that make my heart melt.
Everything that you won't find in a fairy tale. It's what wakes me up and puts me to bed. Looking back, I know I'm blessed. It ain't white picket fences, fancy cars and diamond rings.
It's so true. It is those little things, you know. Great song. Pamela Hopkins with Matt Dane. Matt, one of the most in-demand voices here in Nashville. And it's just a great duet. Great song that you co-wrote, huh?
Yes.
And the video's out there, too, and it's a touching video. There's another video you need to look up. And a little story behind that, too, huh?
Yeah. So our original idea was for me to travel back to the Nashville area, which Matt now is in Muscle Shoals. He just moved there, and we were going to travel there, me and my videographer, and make it look like we were in the studio again, like we actually recorded it there. And I contacted Matt and I said, hey, want to do a video, blah, blah, blah. And he said, please don't take offense to this. I don't want to be in a video. I'm like, how am I going to do a video then if you're not in it? Like, I can't just sing it myself. It's a duet. He was like, I just really don't want to do it. He's like, I don't like leaving my house. I'm like, yeah, I'm a studio rat. I don't want to do it. I don't want the limelight at all. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So we had to kind of come up with something creative. And I thought, I've got a lot of friends. We're, friends with couples around here that have been together a long time, like as long as we have. And I thought, well, I'll just find my friends that are couples that they've been together for 20 plus years and just use them. And they were all like, yeah, we'd love to do it. And of course, so it's a personal journey in that particular video. Because all the couples, every one of us have only been married, as far as I know, once. Yeah.
That's rare today.
Right. Except for Susan and Cliff are in the video. They're more, I'd say, newlyweds. I think they've been married like 3 years. But she's closer to my age. She waited a long time to get married. Her first marriage, her husband's first marriage. And not saying that, that's not something you can do later, but it's just, for my video, I want to be like, what keeps us together with just that one person, And that was kind of the thing, is like, we'd sing it to each other, know.
It's the little things. Yeah,
it's the little things.
It's so true.
That keep us together forever, know. And sometimes they're little things that make us nuts. So we did make fun of the video. Here's a funny thing, a little funny story. As we were shooting it, there's a scene in there where Cliff and Susan are hitting each other with pillows.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I saw that, yeah.
And the talk in the bedroom at that time, because we were shooting it, and he goes, so are we doing this like a for real, or like, are we, And he was like, well, like, what are you talking about? He said, well, I mean, do I want her laying there and I put the pillow over her face like I'm choked, like I'm trying to suffocate her?
No.
Because you get frustrated. You're like, I could just kill you in your sleep. I could just kill you in your sleep.
Right. Yeah. That's not a little thing.
And I was like, yeah. And I thought,
I can hear that song being requested and played for anniversaries and things like that. That's just it's a special song. And it's the song that's breaking you out of that Little Rock famous, because it's being played all over the world. And
it is.
I got to congratulate
it's the first song. Beside the one right before it, Somebody Here's Walking, started to get a little bit of traction, and Little Things is kind of gaining on that. So, and it's the first one that, I think the timing of when I released that, which was right before Valentine's Day,
right,
really, really helped that out. I timed it to release the week before. So it would have a week before people could hear it, kind of get it out there, and just kind of see where it went. And that's, the day I released it, which was February 5th, February 6th, I got the charts, the independent charts in Australia. So it hadn't even been out 24 hours, and I was number 15.
Wow. That's strong.
The next week it went to number 1.
That's great. That's fantastic. You're going to have to tour there. So. There you go. You have to get out there.
I need to.
Yeah. Now, I want to play another song. We have an advanced copy, but it's out there now. We're taping early April, and I know this was now that you're listening, it's in May. But this is your new single, and this is the Pamela Hopkins I really know. That attitude kind of. You got an attitude, right? And that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, really.
Well,
right?
But the other stuff we've co-written, though, that isn't out there yet.
No, it isn't. Yeah, but this was a fun, right? This was an idea you brought.
Right. Yeah. Can I tell about that?
Please do. Just don't embarrass me.
Yeah. So Dave and I got with Melissa last summer. We were talking, and we were like, hey, we're going to start co-writing some stuff, and.
This is Melissa Lee, by the way, who's a great singer in her own right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Melissa Lee was like, well, hey, she's like, I don't play an instrument, but I always get with my buddy Dave, and he just knows like what's in my head. So I'm gonna bring him in. I was like, Okay. Yeah. Because all I have is a piano here. I don't play guitar.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at coming up with melodies. Once we get rolling, I'm like, okay, I can kind of hear it, but we got to, how our process is.
Right.
Anyway, so I think it was the first time you and I had met over Zoom, and I had just got a package in, and we were kind of getting familiar with each other. And I was like, oh my God, you got to see this shirt I just got.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I remember.
Yes. And I held up that shirt and I was like, this is so me. And the shirt said, given a F doesn't go with my outfit. And
and we laughed.
we laughed. We were making fun of it. I was like, I'm totally wearing it. You have no clue. Like, I will wear this at the club, and I can get away with it at the club because I can, it's just who I am. And we were kind of joking about it. Like, we need to write that song. We need to write that song. And I want to say it was our second write.
Could have been, yeah.
Because we were finishing up Back When. I think that's what the first thing I gave y'all was Back When, which is coming out too later. But I want to say that was you were like, hey, I remember us getting back together, maybe a couple weeks later. And you were like, I really want to write that song. I think that would be fun.
Yeah. Except we changed the F.
Yeah. And the shirt was grammatically correct.
It was.
F doesn't go with my outfit. Well, doesn't fit well in a song.
You're an English teacher, so you would know.
Right.
Yeah.
So we chose with giving a damn, don't go with my outfit.
Right.
And if you want to change the words, then you can change the words to whatever you want to change them to. But
exactly. Well, let's play this advanced copy right here. This is out there right now, and you can get it. Is this going to be a video too?
This will be a video.
Wow. Can't wait.
I'm trying to. I know this is a future podcast, so you might be able to find it in video form by the time this airs.
Oh, I hope so.
My plan is to have the video done later this month in April.
That's cool.
And have it drop the same day that the song drops.
That would be cool. That would be awesome.
So that's my plan. Now I might be a week off, so we'll see.
Yeah, I love the way you do it. Well, here it is. Giving a damn don't go with her outfit, people. On the Songwriter Connection podcast.
Small town people talking, not sure what they're saying. Word has it that I'm not their favorite. Feel their eyes upon me, they're not sure what they see. My attitude and my confidence, the way I wear my bling. You don't like my hair or the way I wear my jeans. A little too tight, but it feels right, and I'm okay with me. I know who I am, and don't you ever doubt it. Think what you want, say what you will, 'cause giving a damn don't go with my outfit. Y'all don't see me on Sundays, you don't think that's right. I see most of you wasted where I play on Saturday night. Now stumble to the stage, shouting living on a prayer, and all those drinks you're pounding's got you more than halfway there. You don't like my hair or the way I wear my jeans. A little too tight, but it feels right, and I'm okay with me. I know who I am, and don't you ever doubt it. Think what you want, say what you will, 'cause giving a damn don't go with my outfit. Only one judge matters, and I promise it's not you. You might want to pray a little harder the next time you're in that pew. You know what I mean? You don't like my hair or the way I wear my jeans. A little too tight, but it feels right, and I'm okay with me. I know who I am, so raise your hands and shout it. Think what you want, say what you will, 'cause giving a damn don't go with my outfit.
And a cold ending. I love it. DJs hate that, but I love it. I'm okay with me.
There you go.
That is a little attitude there. I can't even tell anymore.
Yeah, a lot of attitude.
That is fun. And that is a rockin' country song, you know?
Yeah. So my logo, the one that's going to be branded on everything that you guys will be able to buy. has that Giving a Damn Don't Go My Outfit, has my name at the top on the little banner. At the bottom, it says, I'm okay with me.
Oh,
that's the.
Got to get one. Yeah. We get them on your webpage, right?
Yes.
PamelaHopkins.com or music.
Yep. PamelaHopkinsMusic.com.
Yeah. Hey, listen, next time you get to Nashville, we got to get together
Yes.
because I only met you on Zoom. But you know what would be really cool is to maybe get together in a songwriter round or something. Bring your piano and perform. That would be really fun. And maybe even do another podcast where you can play live around the dining room table, as we say.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be just awesome. Hey, thanks for joining us today. It's so much fun to talk to you and get inside your head a little bit. Yeah. Hey, we've got
inside my head a lot.
Really? I hope that's a good thing.
I hope that's a good thing.
It is for me.
You may be like, I don't want to be in there. I'm in there a lot. Every other week, I'm in her head. And it makes me...
We love you. It's just great. Thank you for being on the show. I want to tell you about some upcoming podcasts. We have got some big ones coming up. I'm not going to say some of these names. I'm going to tell you, I've got a huge songwriter on the next one that is scheduled. He's so clever and funny, and I can't wait. I want to tell you his name. It's Win Varble. And I love Win, and he's going to be on the show on the next episode. And then I've got this folk and roll, she calls her thing. She is a big Americana artist these days. Her name is Jamie Harris. I can't get enough of Jamie. She's going to be on the show. We've got Ava Page coming up. She's one of the new breed here in Nashville. And I've got country royalty coming up. The daughter of Waylon Jennings and Jesse Coulter. And also her real dad was Dwayne Eddy. Jenny Eddy Jennings is scheduled to be on the show too. And so we've got some great episodes coming up. So listen to the podcast. If you haven't heard the previous 12 episodes, we hope that you'll download them and give them a listen. Thank you for joining us on the podcast. And Pamela, thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Songwriter Connection podcast. Find us on social media at Songwriter Connection. Also, listen to Dave Linehan's Nashville Connection radio show. It streams live every Friday morning on WOBL and WNOI. Look for us on Facebook and YouTube. See you next time on Songwriter Connection.